Oh, close. Hi. I'm pretty sure nobody's going to hop on right now, so it's fine. Hello, guys. Do you remember this face? I am Dee. This is Naturally NC. Um, we are actually going under a name change, which is what this whole live is about today. I thought about just doing a video, but honestly, I've had some phone changes. I don't even know what editing program I need to be using now. So, yeah, some things are different from the last time we videoed, and some things are completely the same. I'll give it just a few minutes to see if anybody pops on. I'm pretty sure they won't because it's been a hot minute since we have done a video. So, yeah, let's talk a little bit about what's happened. And oh, I have two people up here. I was not expecting that. So, let's talk a little bit about what has happened in the last like 2 years, I guess, since we did. Hey, Salty Anchor. Since the last video we did, Chris and I both have had some job changes. He went from a part-time position to a full-time position. He's managing a store now, as where the last time we filmed, I don't think he was even an assistant at that point. But yeah, he's got his own store now. I don't know if I can actually tell y'all where he works because I'm not real sure what their requirements are, but he works for a parts house and it's the green one. I'll leave it at that. I have had some job changes. I left, for those of you who may or may not remember, I am a nurse and I had left my position at the family medicine clinic I was at. Went and did home health for about a year and a half, and then I got the opportunity to go back to my clinic. So I'm back there now and have been for in June, it'll be 2 years, so about a year and a half back at my old job. In that time, we no longer have our pigs. We definitely still have the garden going. We definitely still have the chickens. But the biggest thing is we are now actively transitioning from our small 1 acre hobby farm here in North Carolina to the more permanent property in Kentucky. So, for those of you who may or may not remember, my husband is actually from Eastern Kentucky, and that is where we are going to eventually be long term. So, this is something that's going to be happening in the next couple of years. I've done a lot of soul searching. I enjoyed the heck out of doing YouTube. There were some things about it that I did not like, and while I was dealing with some pretty bad depression during my job change situations, and it kind of got me out of a place where I wanted to do YouTube at all. I didn't really feel supported within myself, which made me not feel supported by friends and family. And it kind of, and there's nothing that anybody specifically did, but if you've ever dealt with depression, it really messes with your head in a lot of different ways. So fast forward to where we are now, going into 2025 next month. We have made a name change on some of our products that we do locally. So we did that with anticipation of our forever move to Kentucky. We are now going to be called Valley and Holler. So, and this was actually Chris's brainchild. I kind of wanted to, Naturally NC is what we've been for a long time. I was born and raised here in North Carolina. Chris was not, but I was born and raised here in North Carolina. It just made sense to me to have a name that represented North Carolina. And we have used that name both on the YouTube channel and for the products that we do locally for a long time. But in the last couple months, I felt like it was important for us to go ahead and adopt a brand that was going to take us into the next 5 years, because this is kind of like a 4 or 5 year plan that we're looking at as far as getting out of North Carolina, going into Kentucky. So Chris said, well, what about from Holler, or from Valley to Holler? I said, well, that's kind of long. He said, well, it represents us because I'm from the Yadkin Valley area or we live in the Yadkin Valley area of North Carolina. He is from a place known as Saw Pit Holler, where his family is from, where we'll be going. So he said it kind of blends our two backgrounds into one name, and it carries us from North Carolina to Kentucky. So Going forward, we are going to start doing some more videos. I don't know what that's going to look like as far as frequency. I have not filmed in so long. I don't have an editing program anymore. Like don't even have the phone I used to have. So I have no clue what's going to work with what I have. But we are still, even though we're going to be transitioning to a larger property, we are still doing things here on our 1 acre. We have kind of, I don't know, for those of you that have been with me for a while, you probably know this is not anything like what you have seen me sitting in before. We bought a shed earlier this year and did kind of a shed coop conversion. So this that's behind me back in here is the chicken coop with a dog lot run. You guys will eventually get to see that. I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to spend 35 years on this live. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to hop in and tell you guys that your Naturally NC that you have seen on here, and some of you guys that follow me on Facebook already know that we've had the name change. It's going to be changing here on YouTube as well. I'm hoping that as we transition to Kentucky, Chris will be a little more active on the channel as well, because there's projects that he's working on up there. We're kind of in a position where he's focusing more on what's to come up there, and I'm focusing a little bit more on maintaining what we have here. So it's kind of a weird place for us to be in right now. But I'm also interested to see what it's going to look like. And I kind of want to take you guys with us on that. So, yeah, that's what we've got going on. I'm going to pan around and show you my garden right now because y'all, it is a hot mess. I am working on pulling up all of the ground cover. We're going to be doing something completely different with how that looks this year. Yeah, still doing the potatoes, still doing the chickens, still doing the soap. Thanks, Salty Anchor. I'm excited to have you guys follow along with us. A lot of you guys have been with the Naturally NC channel for quite a long time. And I thank y'all for that. I thank y'all for the patience in my absence, because I was just not in a position, mentally or physically, really, because I had some health stuff happen over the last 2 years as well. That kind of had changed what I was capable of doing. That stuff has resolved. So I appreciate y'all's patience with our absence on the channel. I enjoyed the heck out of doing YouTube. The whole reason that I started doing it when I did was because I had a lot of people that would ask me, well, how do you do such and such? Well, how do you know when to do such and such? And I thought, well, man, if I could just start doing some videos, I can say, oh, I actually have a video I can show you that I did that explains all about how I do that. Let me refer you. And that's kind of how this channel got started. You guys know my good friend Jessica did the channel with me for a while. She now has a flower farm, and I hope to eventually be able to take you guys to that and let y'all see what she's doing now. Because y'all, I could not be more proud of her if I had done this stuff myself. Like, she is my own child. Like, she has really grown with what she is doing now versus where she was at when we started just playing around and doing this YouTube thing. And I'm just so stinking proud of her. And I want to be able to show off to you guys what she's doing probably in the spring when she's like, because it's a flower farm. There's not really a whole lot that's going on right now in the winter. But yeah, I'm excited to see what the coming months and years look like, and hope you guys will stick around to see what that looks like as well. All right, we're almost 9-10 minutes in, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video if I can figure out how, because that's changed since the last time I did YouTube as well. So we're going to fumble through this together, guys. Y'all have a good Sunday.